Hey guys, in this video we will be going over 10 tips that we wish we knew when we started playing PUBG. First up on our list, we have don't be scared of the blue zone. And what we mean by this is specifically the first 2 blue zones, as they do not hit very hard. And if you sit in them and just have a couple bandages, it gives you significantly longer time to loot and get more items. That way you can have a better chance at the end game. Plus, if you really want to, you can go out of your way to just find a vehicle, which will give you plenty of time to get back to the circle before it starts hitting hard. Next up on our list, we have that you guys should be drinking your energy drinks and taking those painkillers as you near the end game, rather than right when you get into it. What we mean by this is you need to keep that yellow bar at the bottom of your screen as full as possible. That way you are not wasting your time as you get into that endgame combat. And just to give you an example here, let's say somebody throws a grenade in your direction. Those 2 seconds you have left on taking that painkiller could have been used running away from the grenade and saving your life. But instead, because you were taking them, it resulted in you missing out on that sweet chicken dinner. Now for tip number 3, we highly recommend you guys shut doors in order to use them as an alarm system, and if at all possible, wear headphones in this game. I cannot tell you how crucial it is that you have headphones, preferably with surround sound, as being able to tell the direction of a bullet when someone fires, even at hundreds of meters away, makes a huge advantage for you and your team. And if you're trying to pinpoint the exact location, all you have to do is kind of wiggle your head back and forth until you get that specific direction as to where the sound is coming from. Now, since we're already on the topic of wiggling, this brings us to our number 4 tip, which is to wiggle when you're looting. And no, I don't mean wiggling your head in this case. What we're talking about is trying to wiggle around, maybe move, shimmy, lay down, stand up, crouch, whatever it is. Just keep moving whenever you are looting something, especially when you are looting a loot box or looting a player's corpse, as this will save you so many times from a sniper trying to wait for you to stand still for that split second where they can get an easy headshot on you. Coming in at our number 5 slot, we always recommend that you grab a gun first before you go into looting anything else around the area. This is because if you do run into an enemy, you need to be able to have a gun and ammo with you, as you don't start out with a backpack. So if you start grabbing grenades and attachments, you will quickly find yourself in a situation where you cannot carry the ammo for the guns you are picking up, and therefore cannot defend yourself. Not to mention, we highly recommend you even go out of your way to find the enemies and kill them so that you can have a safe looting environment and don't end up in a situation where you have a a-hole sitting in a freaking bathroom waiting to shoot you with a shotgun. For our number 6 slot, we have that you guys should hold the trigger in order to not zoom out after shooting a sniper. Now, if you don't know what this means when you shoot that fire button on a sniper rifle, if you hold in that trigger or mouse button, whatever it is you happen to be using, you will be able to see where the bullet travels. Whereas if you immediately release it, your character will then cock it back and put in the next bullet, meaning you won't get to see if it made contact or where it moved. This also allows you to see the bullet drop off, which gives you a significant advantage when you're trying to line up your next shot. It also gives you more info as to the distance of your enemy, so you can then zero in your scope if you're using an 8x or a 15x. Next up, we highly recommend that you guys use the training mode. You see, the training mode, yes, it's really good for beginners doing the things like the drop mechanics and getting a feel for where you need to go and how far you can go on a drop. And it's also great for beginners, for people who are just trying to learn the vehicle mechanics and how each one functions differently and the different controls they may have available to them. Now, the most important part about the training mode for everyone is the firing range. For new players, it's a great way to test out each gun and how the attachments work and get an idea as to how much kick each gun has and the bullet drop off. But for more experienced players, if you can get in there with a buddy, have him go halfway across the map and just fire a gun, and then get used to listening to those sounds in-game on your headphones. That way you know what guns enemies are shooting and how to pinpoint where they're coming from. Now for our 8th tip, we highly recommend that you guys do not hide your grass. I mean hide in the grass. As you see in PUBG, players will render in at a near infinite distance. However, environmental effects, such as grass for an example, will not render in at long distances. This means that if you are laying out in the open, you are just asking to get domed. Even if on your screen you're hiding in the grass, players can still see you as if you're just sitting there waiting to die. Up next, for tip number 9, we recommend that you guys always use tab looting. You see, when you are looting things, you can easily see things in the vicinity and specify exactly what you guys want to pick up. That way you are not stuck in a situation where you loot 4 or 5 items you didn't even want, just to have to drop them in order to get the one thing you were looking for. This saves loads and loads of time and can drastically increase the amount of loot you have as you push further and further into the game, and it can save your life if you're looting something that is high risk, such as a player's body for an example. Finally, for number 10 on our tips list, we recommend that you guys learn all the secret loot methods for each map in PUBG. Just to give you some examples of these, you can blow up the trucks on the jungle map, which will spit out loot boxes with unique and interesting loot that can only be obtained from these. On Karakin, which is the desert island map, on the other hand, they have underground tunnels that you can blow up with sticky bombs, which will allow you access to loot that you otherwise wouldn't be able to get. And finally, there are the secret keys on the volcano map. These will open up ancient tombs with unique and interesting loot, such as being able to get an instant revive, which is guaranteed in every single one of them. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and if you did enjoy the content, please make sure to subscribe and tick the bell, as it really helps support our channel. Also, if you guys are looking for more PUBG information in particular, feel free to click the videos on screen.